Hey, y'all, listen, I'm back with season 1. And we are getting ready to come into this next episode. I really like this next one because this one gonna be good. Lady Kimberly Jackson is presenting you with unfiltered real talk beyond the pew, okay? And listen, we're gonna get straight into it because I believe and I already know that this specific topic we're gonna talk about tonight everybody named Mama can relate to, okay? And again, I got my co-hosts with me. Miss Rashonda and Miss Monique. So we are talking tonight about single parenting. One parent, many hats, and the struggle and strength in single parenting, okay? So a lot of people out there are a lot of single parents, and it's not just garnered around single mothers because there are a lot of single fathers out there too. Mm-hmm. So, we don't want to forget them. We don't want to leave them out. Okay. But I'm just saying, single mothers, we rock. Okay. Yeah. Just saying. What you think?
We do.
We rock. Right?
We do.
We rock. Because I
got to advocate for the men.
Hey, this is Lady Kimberly Jackson, and I am introducing you to my new and upcoming podcast entitled Unfiltered Real Talk Beyond the Pew, which will air every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Let your hair down and get ready for this non-judgmental, safe space. Coming soon. I can't wait.
I don't think single dads get enough.
They don't.
Yeah. They don't get enough attention like they should because it's a lot of single dads that's out there raising wonderful adults.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have a good friend who was her and her brother were raised by their dad, and she's a nurse. Her other brother's a firefighter. So single dads don't get enough credit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's always focused on the woman, but I think we should have more things or more assistance in place for the single dad that's doing both roles.
Most definitely.
Exactly. Because I know as parents, especially single parents, we wear a whole lot of hats. Okay. Mm-hmm. We the nurse, we the doctor, we the lawyer, we the cook, we the teacher, the educator, we the carpool person,
everything.
we the pastor, we everything to these kids, and sometimes the struggle can be real, especially when sometimes our kids tend to test our gangster. Okay,
the kids now, especially the kids now,
Lord.
Especially the teenage girls, mine. Anyway, so what do you think I know for you, Rashonda, you're a single mother. So what are some of the struggles that you have found yourself facing as trying to navigate through parenting?
It was difficult at times only because especially when it came to activities and things like that, I didn't have support to take her to do things or to support her or be at the activities. Mm-hmm. So that was some of my most difficult times, especially when she was looking for my support, but I had to work. Like I had to take care of us. I had to provide, or I would have to take her and not be able to stay. Mm-hmm. I had jobs that kind of understood, but jobs that really didn't at the same time.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think one of my hardest things was just trying to be the supportive parent when she was younger. Mm-hmm. When she was older, it was a little easier for me. Right. But when she was younger, it was hard because at that time I had to provide. I had to take care of us. Was it always understood? No.
Right.
It was more of, I've learned as she got older that it bothered her. When she was younger, she didn't say. But now, no. So being the caretaker, the driver, the payer, the provider, everything, it was hard. It was difficult. Like now that I sit back and think about it, it seemed easy at the time because I didn't have a choice. But it was really hard.
Right.
It was really difficult.
And it is difficult because, you try to give your kids the things that your parents might not have been able to give you, even if you did grow up with two parents. I mean, that's just kind of what it is. And so for me, I try to encourage my daughter and I try to tell her some of these things that you're doing and you get to do.
Yeah.
I didn't, like, you were flying since you were 4 years old. You were already on a plane. I ain't see a plane till I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
You know? So you getting a whole lot. They don't sometimes I feel like our children don't realize how good they really have it.
Right.
No, they don't.
Versus how we had it.
Yeah.
So the struggle for me is having to remind.
Yeah.
You know, trying to remind her, girl, you got it good. Be happy and get a job. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's for another time. But Miss Monique, like, what do you think that is a big struggle from just kind of from the outside looking in as you see single parents? How do you see their struggle and what they deal with?
Because I'm not a parent.
Right.
No regrets.
Hallelujah. I'm trying
But
to tell you.
I've been,
That's why we have one.
yeah.
One is the loneliest number
I
that you ever
understand. I think I've been that friend that was standing in the gap.
Mhm.
So when you talk, I've had friends, a lot of them that have been single parents, and when they didn't have someone to pick them up, or when they got sick at school and they couldn't go and needed to leave work, I was that person to pick them up from the daycare, pick them up from school. So I was that person that stood in the gap to help out. Because that is, I think, rough for any single parent, especially when you have to leave your job, when you get a call, they don't act up at school or they sick at school, and you just got to up and leave. And some jobs do not understand that.
No, they don't.
Most jobs don't understand that. So.
And see, I was raised in an age where my mom and my dad were in their group where they have to work. So their job come first. So me saying, hey, I can't leave my job. Can you pick her up? They're like, no, I can't leave my job either. you know, so it was pretty difficult. And thankfully, I had a few friends like you that were able to pick her up for me or could do certain things, but there was far and few in between.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would have to figure out something in order to accommodate her.
And then when I grew up, I had both parents in the household, but the neighborhood, my friends in the neighborhood, their parents was like my parents. So it was always somebody standing in that gap. Now we really don't have that today.
Right.
Everybody's for their own.
That's true.
The village was the key.
Yeah, we don't have.
When I was a little girl, and we stayed on Dead End Street, the village was the key. Even with when it came to my aunts and uncles, somebody watched me, somebody braided my hair, or somebody picked me up from school. Somebody watched me walk to school or walk, home. It was still somewhere there to watch me at all times.
And you got fussed at by everybody if you did something wrong. But we don't have that anymore. I don't know what we have now.
Yeah, because back in the day,
we got social media. I'm sorry,
we
I
do
do
got
know.
social
We got
media.
social media
And
now.
YouTube.
and back in the day, like back when I was growing up especially in church, like they was allowed to correct us.
Oh, most definitely.
Everybody else's parents were allowed to correct us.
Do it now and see.
No, you're right. Because they'll be ready to flip a table like, well,
Do it now and see what
they'll be
happens.
ready to flip a table behind their kids, and so times have definitely changed. We've seen the evolution of the time of change, especially now we're seeing what the generation, what they call it, Generation Z.
Yeah.
Now we're
I
seeing
don't even
how
know what that is. What is that?
this generation of these kids
What is that?
that done got a little bit more gangster
Yeah,
than what they were back then.
They
And
have
again,
no-
social media.
They have no fear
None at all.
of anything. It's like whatever.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. It was kind of hard to discipline my daughter because nothing faced her.
Right.
I can take anything. It's
How
like,
old is
okay.
she?
She's 24 now.
Oh, she grown.
Oh, she grown now.
Yeah.
But back then, oh no, nothing faced. It still don't to this day. Like she wasn't like toys and all that stuff. I can buy all that stuff. It would be one thing that really interests her. Other than that, no. Nothing at all.
The kids little gangsters. I told you, Generation Z. Because my child, you could say whatever and do whatever, and it's almost like they're more in tune to taking the consequence. Like they're okay with it now. Like, oh, I'm all right. I'll get in trouble, and I'll be done with that. But then I'm gonna do something else later. Yeah. Like they like consequences. Like they are gangster. Okay, and I'm like, oh Lord, and it's like. Shout out to my parents.
I was afraid of
because okay, my mama was Papa Joe. Yeah. Okay, she was the female version. Your mom was Joe Jackson. Yes, Joe Jackson, and our last name is Jackson. So yeah, it worked out in her favor. So yeah, but. For me, I can say that I'm grateful for my parents because my daughter is 15 now, and they have been there to help me out, to pick her up, to drop her off if I couldn't, to make sure she has something to eat on, if I was at work, So I can say that I was fortunate and blessed to have my parents. Shout out to my mom and daddy, Patricia and Johnny, because they'll complain later that I didn't say that. So shout out to y'all. But I was fortunate. Yeah. So and then even with my brothers, their children. So we were fortunate to have our parents step in and to help us with our children, just like they did back in the day. And so, but just to encourage other parents that are single parents, you're not, just know that you're not in this thing by yourself.
No.
You're not alone.
But you have to know your parents, like you're talking about, your parents are there to help and stand in a gap. They're not there for you to leave them.
Right.
It's a difference. They're not there for you to leave them there.
Yeah.
And then go do what you want to do.
Yeah. Right.
And then you come in, because that even causes a problem with kids, because kids realize that, well, I'm with my grandparents or I'm with my auntie more than I see my mama.
Exactly.
But that can cause a lack of respect and a lack of discipline. I think my generation, do I gotta age myself? us in our 40s.
We got to be close to the same age.
I think what we did was we had kids young. A lot of my friends were teen parents. So because they had them young, they left them with their parents a lot more. So it was like they were having more kids while their kids was being raised by their grandparents. So it caused a lack of discipline and a lack of respect. Because another big issue we have as single parents is discipline. It's okay to take time out to spend with your kids and discipline your kids. Teach them right and wrong. You have to take time out for that. The job will be there, but your child won't if they're steady getting in trouble or if they're steady issue.
Who the parent is.
Right.
Exactly.
I think that's the biggest issue with single parenting now, knowing who the parent is and who is in charge.
Right.
My daughter knew.
Because sometimes you have the kid is actually acting as the parent.
Yeah.
And the kid is keeping the adult in line.
Yeah.
No, that's the wrong way. So you need to know who's the parent. I don't care how we can laugh, joke all day long. When I say sit down, sit down.
And not just sit down, but sat down. Sat down somewhere.
Especially with a single mother with more than one child. I feel like the oldest child is not the parent.
Exactly.
Right.
They are not the parent. You are. Take care of your kids. It's doable. Like, I have to watch myself sometime, especially in the job field I'm in now. And I was like, okay, I was a single parent. I had to do A, B, and C for my daughter. Like, what are you doing? So it kind of sometimes you can become judgmental because, like, it wasn't easy. And I know it's not easy, but it can be done and done in the right way.
Exactly.
And they're not a statistic.
No.
They're not like as much as they say, if you come from a single parent home, this, that, and the other happens to you because you're come from a single parent home. But I just don't see that.
No.
And I always tell my daughter, I try to remind her, I don't want you to think that that's who you are. And with where she is, she goes to a career and technical high school, already building her career now, which is something that we didn't have back then. And I wanted her to always understand, even though it's not two of us, two parents, and it's just one, you're still going to be successful regardless.
Oh yeah, most
Don't ever feel like you're part of the statistics, because you're not.
And to your point, I think some parents get to the point, or when that kid gets to a certain age where they're 5, 6, 7, 8, it's mommy time. Every parent, may you be a single parent or a married couple, however, yes, find time for yourself, but you have to remember you are a parent.
Yeah,
That's right.
That does not change.
Yeah.
So just because little Johnny can go and fix his own cereal, you done bought him a step stool, don't mean you can leave little Johnny at home and go on a cruise because you need mommy time.
yeah,
That doesn't work. That's when they're gonna be visiting you.
yeah.
So you have to always remember.
How you doing?
Yeah, you are a parent. That does not go away just because now they're able to function much more on their own. You still a parent
Exactly.
until they get out your house.
And and then
Even after then,
Yeah,
I'm
well-
still a parent.
Well, they only gonna call
My
you.
mom's still parenting me.
They only gonna call you for money then.
Yeah, me and my mama. Hi,
They
mama.
only gonna call you for money.
Yeah, you cash out me $20. I sent it.
and then
Yeah,
we
we
were
gonna
trying
call
to
you
remind them too that we not y'all friend.
Yeah,
You know, we your
Mm-hmm.
mama.
Mm-hmm.
They're your daddy. They not your friend. So sometimes it's good to remind them too. I'm not. We are not friends. No, we are not. But yeah, this was really good.
Yeah.
This was really good. So I definitely hope that we help somebody
yeah,
tonight, those single parents that needed that encouragement, that needed to feel like, okay, I got this. I'm doing my job. I'm doing good. Don't worry, you are doing
yeah.
One more thing.
good.
Listen to your kids
Mm-hmm.
before you just cut them off
Yeah.
or automatically form this idea or what you think they're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
I think every parent needs to thoroughly sit there and listen to what your kids are saying, because kids are actually telling you the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen before you just automatically judge and make a snap decision.
And I think you should find community. Find support.
for
There's some
sure.
people out there that will genuinely support you and love your kids as their own. So it's okay to find support. Sadly, we're in a world where no one trusts anybody. But just seek, well, I'm going to say it, seek God
Yeah.
for the right people to come into your life to support you and what you need to do as a single parent. Yeah.
Not Craigslist.
And he
Definitely not Craigslist. Definitely not your new
stay
man.
off Craigslist. Yeah. Please
Look,
don't,
definitely not your
please
new
don't
man.
get on
Yeah,
Craigslist.
definitely not your new man.
They crazy on there. They're crazy
Yeah,
on
it's okay to find community. God will lead the right people in your life to support you and your children.
That's right. And I know him to be a provider. Okay. I ain't gonna get to preaching,
He will.
but we know him to be a provider. And I could say after 15 years of God being there for me as a single parent, we doing good.
Yeah.
God will do it. Yes, I put that, gave me that shameless plug. Not really shameless because it's my song. God will do it. Go download that tonight. But yes, and then Jesus will see you through. Okay, download that one too. That's mine. That's Lady Kim and Jackson. Okay.
See?
But listen, y'all. I had to put that in there, But listen, y'all. I definitely appreciated this night, this episode. What a way to kick off season 1. I hope that something was said that garnered you guys, that got into your mind, your spirit, and your heart, and encouraged you. I thank y'all for being here with me and kicking it with me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
I
you for having me
enjoyed
as well.
myself.
I did too, on unfiltered real talk beyond the pew.
Beyond the people.
Y'all have a good one.